This is an announcement for all those on Platform 1 waiting for the 1022 to Bridlington. I have been advised that the train is currently being held at a red signal due to a mattress which has been dumped on the line just outside the station. We're just waiting for a member of staff to become available to move that mattress 10 feet so that services may resume, but due to staff cutbacks, I am currently the only living employee of the network in the station, and I am contractually forbidden from leaving the office in case of emergencies. Of course, should there be an emergency, I don't know what I'll do, as I am contractually forbidden from leaving the office. People say you need to move with the times, but I'd like to see an automated ticket machine drag a mattress 10 feet off the tracks. Or deliver a baby, like I saw old Stuart McNulty do on the concourse on my very first day in the job 40 years ago. As far as the rail companies are concerned, that wasn't a woman in desperate need of assistance from a dedicated servant of the rails. That was a customer engaged in extra commuting activities, disrupting regular service provision. It's my last day on the job today. When old Stuart McNulty retired in 1995, we had a huge party with all the station staff. And in the same spirit, once I've completed my shift hours, I'm going to drink a can of M&S Prosecco with the vacuum robot that hoovers the office. One of the rail company brass came by for an inspection last week. He referred to me as a human interface asset. He was looking me in the eye as he said it. Those waiting on Platform 1 for the 1022 to Bridlington, the train is currently being held at a red signal due to a mattress on the rails just outside the station. As soon as a passing Good Samaritan decides to climb down the embankment and move the mattress aside, the signal should change and the train should arrive at the platform. Until then, it's Crowley time.
Hello, and welcome to Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley. With me, Tom Crowley. And here we are again, staring down the loaded barrel of another year, keenly aware that our big end-of-year break is now over for another 11 months, wondering how we can have done so much nothing, and yet got so little rest. And it's at times like this that we cast about for inspiration. Where do you go? What do you look to for motivation when a seemingly unclimbable mountain lies ahead? Do you turn to loved ones for encouragement? Look into the eyes of someone near and dear and see them gazing back at you with all their adoration, reminding you of all the things they love about you and, in turn, reminding yourself of your finer qualities. Incidentally, if you have no loved ones close at hand, this also works with any dog. Or perhaps you turn to favourite music, films, telly, food, drink, a treasured pair of slippers, your best heated blanket, siphoning fuel from little pleasures and using it to power the engine of your soul so that you can get a bit more out of the doing of daily life. Do you want to know what I do when I'm short of get up and go and oversupplied with lie down and stop? You want to know what I think about? I think about you, the listeners. Because this business that I like to call show can be hard, and making this thing that I like to call a show takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a truckload of being bothered, often at times when I could just as easily play Tetris for 9 hours and then fall asleep on the floor. But I don't do that most of the time because just as I start to reach for that old Game Boy, I picture you, on a train or in a car or on the toilet, siphoning a little bit of your life fuel from this program and feeling your soul revving back into life. And the thought that I could help to keep you going through the next little stretch is all I need to keep making upsetting and confusing nonsense like the fine program you're about to hear. Wherever you are on this pothole-riddled motorway we call life, I hope this dose keeps you ticking over until the next roadside services. So put on your indicator, check your blind spot, and off we go. In the year 2020X, society is a memory. Justice is obsolete. The only thing standing between good people and destruction is the news. And in its darkest hour, only one woman can save it. Ah, well, look who it is. I never thought I'd see you at the news precinct again. Help yourself. As far as I'm concerned, you can take the synth whiskey, take the virtue word processor, the vidphone, hell, take my cyberdesk if you want. I'm nobody's chief anymore. I'm closing the office. Lance Freefall and his corpo gang have declared war on the news, and I don't plan on getting caught in the crossfire. Hell, I think just about everybody in the print district feels the same way. You listening to me? This whole city's going to hell, and there ain't no point in you getting yourself killed for some damn fool crusade. You hear me? It's over. Mateless.
No, it's still going on.
Bad mateless.
Oh no! Oh, please leave me alone!
The kiosk is closed, Grandpa!
No, please! My daddy opened this newsstand. I sold newspapers on this street corner for 60 years.
Yeah? Well, it looks like the evening edition just got spiked.
This is, quite frankly, laughable.
What? Who? Get the hell out of here, lady. Me and the old geezer gotta discuss circulation. Specifically, an end to his.
No!
Whoa. The lady's packing.
Does that worry you?
You don't scare me. That thing probably ain't even loaded.
You're loaded.
Who the hell are you?
Good evening.
Wait a second. I know that. Good evening. Oh my God. It's Bad Mateless.
Of course it is.
Oh, shit.
Are you thinking it's all over?
Yeah. Kinda. Is it?
Yes, of course.
Whew. Thanks, Bad Mateless. I thought I was a goner.
There is an adrenaline in the room.
You can say that again.
There is an adrenaline in the room.
Oh, okay. You know, before you arrived, I thought the news was finished. But now that you're back on the scene, Bad Mateless, I'm thinking maybe I was wrong.
That's the way to correct that perception.
You're right. Godspeed, Bad Mateless, and good luck.
I grew up in Sheffield, and sometimes I just literally confuse whole chapters of my life with the full Monty.
Huh.
Bad mateless. They really will make a film about anything, won't they? What's next? A film about some dogs who fall in love and eat spaghetti? Whoa! Sorry, listeners. When you're a creative person, like me, sometimes your imagination runs away with you. Apologies if anyone out there feels lightheaded. Let's all calm down and see if anyone's called into the show. Hello, this is Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley with me, Tom Crowley. We can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone. Are you stuck on the hard shoulder of life's motorway? Need a quick pick-me-up to get back in gear? Then try petrol. Petrol. Drink petrol. Drink it up. Oh dear, no thanks. But never mind that now. I'm missing my favourite morning-themed magazine format television show, and yours. Hello again, welcome back to AM in the Morning. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mandy. Well, some very informative adverts about life insurance in the break there.
Have you got yours sorted, Mandy?
And give Mr. Mandy more incentive to poison my Horlicks? I don't think so, Andy.
No, quite right. But if you're not worth a cough in an emergency ward, you might want to think about taking out some life insurance so you don't leave your family right up poo-poo creek if you pop off unexpectedly.
Especially in these difficult times.
Absolutely. Now, of course, around this time, we'd usually pop into the AM in the Morning kitchen and get some culinary top tips from our resident chef, Marco Deponi.
But as most of you will probably be aware from the stories in the tabloids,
And the statement from the Home Office.
Marco is currently at His Majesty's pleasure, serving a 6-month sentence for public indecency, inappropriate contact with a member of the House of Lords, possession with intent to sell human remains, and conspiracy to commit treason while under the influence.
Marco is serving his sentence at a minimum security facility close to the capital, Wickham Men's Prison in Surrey, recently bought by Chanel as part of a recent government privatisation scheme.
And now renamed Wickham Prison Port Om. And because this is a minimum security facility populated mostly by television personalities, Marco's little indiscretion doesn't mean we have to go without our regular cooking segment.
Indeed not, Mandy. Thanks to the miracle of modern technology, we can now go to Wickham and join Marco live via video link-up. Marco, hello.
What?
Marco, it's Andy. From AM in the morning. Your job.
Hello, Andy.
Now, we were all very sorry to hear about
Yes, AM in the morning. Hello.
Sorry, viewers, it seems we have a little delay on our link-up here.
I was framed, Gav. It was a stitching up.
Hold on, Marco, we've got a little delay.
Actually, Andy, the producer's in my ear telling me there isn't a delay, in fact.
Oh, God. Marco.
Sorry?
Marco. Marco!
Oh, sorry, Andy. My reactions are a little slow this morning. It's probably because I was up quite late till 5 or 4 a.m. drinking toilet wine.
Right.
Which is a funny name because it's just vodka in a toilet.
Yes.
I like to have it warm with garlic and rosemary croutons.
Who in Christ's name thought this would be a good idea?
So, Marco, you've served 3 months of your sentence now.
More like a 300,000 million years, more like.
Well, I'm sure it does seem like a long time, but perhaps you should have thought about that before you tried to sell Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber that skull.
Oh, yes, we can all be clever in a reverse mirror, isn't it, Mandy?
Why did you think he'd want a skull anyway, Marco?
Look, makeup lady, she tells me that Lord Lloyd Andrew loved to collect memorabilia for William Pitt the Younger, and Lord de Webber, whatever he say, he cannot prove that this was not Willie Pitt's skull.
It had a big hole in it.
Because I drop it in the hard tiles in the lobby. What do you think I am, Bruce Forsyth?
I don't know what that means. Now, Marco, the producer had something he wanted me to ask you, and because I signed my original contract for this program without consulting a lawyer first, I have no choice but to do as he says.
Sure, shoot your boots, cowboy.
You're someone who truly loves food.
You're not kidding. In 2014, for 5 months, I was married to an artichoke.
Exactly. So what are you missing most while you're in prison?
Tits.
Jesus Christ.
I meant, what food are you missing most?
Oh, well, you know, minimum prison for television personality. It is very physical and stressful. Every morning we have to do 15 minutes of yoga.
Gosh.
And normally, if I'm going to do such a punishment exercise when I'm not inside of the nick, I make sure to have very big healthy breakfast to get up my strength up for feeling the pump on myself.
And what sort of thing would you have?
Oh, a half-dozen egg scramble, pack of 8 Lincolnshire sausages, pot of coffee with cream, and a couple of trifles, thank you very much.
I think I'm going to be sick.
That does seem like quite a lot for first thing in the morning, Marco.
No, nonsense, ridiculoso. At the Olympics, you go to the hotel with the Italian team, and first thing in the morning, when they finish having sex on each other, is beef carpaccio and cheese omelette minimum. Otherwise, they are limp and miserable like a lettuce's ugly grandpa. Is no good.
And what do they give you at Wickham?
Yeah. Every day is a porridge with maybe some raisins or fresh blueberries and a spoon of honey. Yeah. Peasant food.
Oh, sounds quite nice, actually. I wouldn't mind having that made for me in the morning.
Andy, what is wrong with you? Did a dog piss in your brains?
What?
This is a disgusting slop with the honey and the raspberry compote. Yeah. This is not the food for a tough working man with big scratchy hands, so I must find ways to add to and amplify the breakfast with whatever I can find in the big house.
Ah, see? Now we're getting somewhere.
Yes, this is fascinating, Marco. Now, tell us, how are you beefing up your meals during your stay?
Okay, fabuloso. Let's get stuck in of it. Well, first things first. Mandy, could you take off your top off, please?
No.
Oh, come on. I haven't seen a bosom in a week.
But you've been in there 3 months.
Kirsty Allsop came to see me.
AM in the morning would like to distance itself from Mr. Deponi's remarks.
One is bigger than the other.
So, Marco, back to the food.
Oh, yes, food. Now, I started with the porridge slop they feed me, and I don't want that, so I throw it in his screw's face.
Right.
Then I think, what am I going to do? I don't have the Sainsbury's or the farmer's market like at home, like normal. So what do I do instead? And I have to improvise and make use of the resources I have to hand. And I think, what is one thing you can get in prison?
What?
Cigarettes.
Fantastic.
Delicious, nutritious cigarettes full of vitamins and herbs and acids.
I don't know if we're allowed to encourage people to smoke, Marco.
Madon, no, I don't smoke them.
No?
No, I peel them with the sharpened toothbrush handle we find in the back of Gregory the Snitch. Then I collect the delicious brown fillings in the mop bucket, season with a little salt and maybe some pepper spray we pinch off of the filth, put over a roaring flame that I make from my cellmate's bedclothes and some Montel Hillary from the library trolley, add a liter of toilet wine to the mixture, and simmer for 6 or 12 hours until it starts to get thick. No, not thick. It's more like lumpy. See, lumpy. Then serve in a tin mug with crusty bread or a face flannel. It's not exactly a hot and fresh sausage in the morning, but it's rich, smoky flavor, delicioso, and it's full of protein. No, not protein, alcohol. Try it yourself if you don't mind going a little bit blind.
Well, thank you, Marco. What an insight into life behind bars.
No problem. Oh, it's another riot. Simon Cowell must be raising all hellfire again.
I didn't know Simon Cowell had been sent to prison.
He hasn't. That's the problem. He keeps breaking in. Come and get me, Cowell, you rubbery bitch, and take off your top off.
Well, that feels like the perfect place for a short break while we chat to Ofcom and see if we'll be back afterwards.
I wouldn't bank on it. Stay tuned. Or don't. It won't matter to us.
Ho, ho, ho! Greetings, boys and girls, and whoever the f*** you are. It's me, Mr. Christmas, the holly jolly f***ing cunt who flies all around the place, dropping off presents for all the good children every f***ing where you like on Christmas Eve. But as you know, Christmas was last f***ing month. And that's why, since my job is done until next f***ing December, I've come to beautiful sunny Hawaii for my annual getaway. Ever since the plane touched down 3 weeks ago, I've been drinking fruity cocktails, and I am absolutely f***ing smashed out of my f***ing bean. Ho ho ho! The reason I'm here talking to you the reason I'm here talking to you is to remind all you lovely f***ing listeners that if you like this show, like if you really f***ing like it, then you can go to crowleytime.com and buy some merchandise for it. There's 2 f***ing types of thing you can do. You can get the Crowley Time Maximum Elite t-shirt for 24 quid, or this sumptuoso sweatshirt for 35 quid, not including your f***ing postage, which varies depending on where you want the f***ing thing sent. They're high quality, eco-friendly, so f***ing buy them. Go to crowleytime.com, yes, that's crowleytime.com, today to check the f***ing things out, and then get one, why don't you? Go on, put your money where your f***ing c*** is, you f***ing shitty asshole surface. Oh, I'm going to be sick.
Fed up of doing your taxes? Struggling to wrap your head around all these new regulations and legal terms? Then drink petrol. Petrol.
I said no. Some people just can't take a hint. And here comes one now. Bad Mateless.
She's coming, boys.
Good evening.
Mikey! Gear shift, you gotta get out of here, quick! Warn the boss!
No deal, Patrice. This ends here and now.
Gear shift, you're crazy! She's gonna...
Great, really lovely.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Bad Mateless herself.
This should be a pretty simple place to start.
Quite right. So let's proceed. Pleased to meet you, Bad Mateless. Name's Gearshift. I'm a businessman of sorts, and here's my opening offer. Turn around now, leave Lance Freefall's operation alone, and you get to live.
You've got a negotiating position which is completely unclear.
Seems pretty clear to me. So what's it gonna be?
I'm sort of waiting to sort of come down on one side or another.
Well, clock's ticking, Bad Mateless. 'Cause from where I'm sitting, it looks like your game's already over. The people don't want the news anymore. They don't care about things like journalistic integrity and factual accuracy.
Generally, it'd be nice to have those two recognised equally, wouldn't it?
Maybe in another world, another time. Face it, Bad Mateless, there's no place for impartial news broadcasting anymore. The world belongs to the corporations now.
Sometimes corporations get nervous, right?
Not Freefall Corp. They've got this whole town under their thumb.
The people running the grid things, running the boxing.
Yes, and all sporting concerns citywide, to name but a few. So why should the people believe in you?
The longer it goes on, the less clear it's becoming.
That's right. What do you feel, Bad Mateless, knowing you're obsolete?
Fury, contempt, and anguish.
I'm sure. So walk away, why don't you? Retire somewhere pretty like the Outer Venus colonies or the Cotswolds or something.
Back against the wall.
Oh, still putting up a fight? You're joking. Oh.
It wasn't a joke.
Bad Mateless.
Gosh, my knuckles are bone white, my shirt's soaked in sweat, I can hear my heartbeat pounding in my ears, and I'm enjoying Bad Mateless as well. I might just sit down for a minute, in fact. Oh dear. Ah, Mr. Christensen, fine morrow to you.
Ah, Mr. Musgrove, I trust you're enriched by the fine airs this morning.
Truly, sir, truly.
But, Mr. Musgrove, there is a matter on which I must tug upon your coat-tail this fine St. Willibrod's Day.
Indeed, sir.
Yes, your paper, sir, published in the Ledger Tuesday last.
Quite so, sir, quite so.
You expostulated that man, being made in God's image, must be deemed to be perfect in his construction, else God could not be considered himself to be perfect.
I did indeed, sir. 'Twas the issue of much ponderance and prayer, in fact.
Well, sir, you do surprise me, as I'd have thought this less the conclusion of a learned and much pondered man, and more that of a lallywit.
A lallywit, sir?
That is what I said, sir.
Well, sir, if you'll indulge me, that's quite the opinion I would expect from a preening futtock like yourself.
A futtock, indeed. Well, Mr. Musgrove, trust a rubbicking grunt-waller like yourself to resort to such obscenity.
You, sir, are a tottering tatmeister.
And you, sir, a thistle-minded gadge-badger.
I, a gadge-badger? You, sir, are a trot-botted plod-throttler, hilted stot-weasel, pilloried big-dillery,
Wet-livered titmouse boiler.
effeginating thruck,
Boff-winded cod-husband.
cod-husband, am I?
Indeed, sir.
Yeah? Well, you are not a very nice person.
What?
Yeah. You heard. You're not nice.
Well, come on.
No. I worked really hard on that paper, and then off you go giving it all that lallywit and everything.
Well, I didn't mean to.
I'm not the only one who says it either.
Pardon?
Dave said it too. He said, you're horrible.
Dave said that?
Yeah. He said you're horrible. And he's right.
Oh, come on, Cyril. Let's just go and have a coffee or something. You can call me a willow-brained tit-warbler and we'll forget about the whole thing.
No, it's too late for that. You're mean. Goodbye.
Oh, come on, Cyril. Cyril! You're a knock-kneed quail heart. Cyril?
Ah, hello again, listeners. You join me here in the sorting room with the show's faithful postmaster, Savaloy, as usual.
Pleasure to be of service, sir.
Have you recovered from all those coal wounds, Savaloy?
Just about, sir. God blimey, you won't believe where they found some of those lumps. God help us.
Oh, nasty. Of course, all you listeners will remember the frightful fate that befell Savaloy and I in last month's Christmas episode.
I shan't soon forget it, sir.
I'm sure you won't. It was so eventful and harrowing and entertaining. Imagine if some of the listeners skipped over the Christmas episodes, eh, Savaloy? God, they'd be missing out.
Heaven forbid, sir. They'd never do that, would they?
Of course not. That would be utterly ridiculous. And our listeners have more sense than that.
And thank goodness for that.
Quite. Now, we've just had a couple of messages from the listeners this month, so it'll only be a very short letters section. Probably all a bit tuckered out over the holiday period, I expect.
Too busy getting pissed, I expect, sir.
They're both from Twitter. Firstly, this from friend of the show Max Kreisky at Max to the K, who says, after an extremely stressful holiday weekend, once again the Crowley Time holiday special has restored my all and no faith end of year winter social spirit. Tom bless us, everyone. Well, I'm sorry to hear that the holidays brought some stress with them, Max, but glad to have been of some help. How do you usually deal with the stressful side of the holiday season, Savaloy?
Get pissed, I expect, sir.
Jolly good. And the other tweet is from loyal listener and previous writer-inner Tim Mitchell at Tim Mitchell 1971, who says, "Why, Malcolm, why? What did we ever do to you?" He's quoting the Christmas episode again there, but you knew that. So much goodness in this and the last few episodes of Crowley Time and Faces of Virtue. Thanks for the laughs. Much love and very best wishes for Christmas time and the new year, Tom. Well, a belated Merry Christmas and all the best for a continuingly brilliant 2023 to you, Tim. Thanks as ever for listening. For your kind words and your ongoing support of the show, I'm awarding you Letter of the Episode! And for that, you of course win a free digital download of this show's first soundtrack album, Discount Bin. It'll be on its way to you quicker than Savaloy can get pissed.
Pretty bloody quick then, I shouldn't wonder, sir.
Quite right. And that's all there is. Please do keep sending in your messages, listeners, either on Twitter at @ATomCrowley or via email to crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. That's
crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com.
And while all these kind words are lovely, you don't just have to write in to say nice things about the show. You can ask questions, tell us where in the world you're listening from, outline your personal manifestos. The more controversial, the better. Something we can really get our teeth into. Right, Savaloy?
Yes, sir. If I may, I'd quite like to know when and where people like to listen to the show, where it fits into their day.
Yes, exactly. That's a great idea. It'll probably just be on the toilet, right?
Well, that's where I listen to it.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, that's a great prompt to start with, listeners. Tell us when and where you listen to Crowley Time, and you never know, yours could end up being crowned Letter of the Episode! But for now, time to close up the sorting room.
Oh, gold.
Now, Savaloy, I'm going to take extra care this time. At Christmas, you almost got stuck in that storage locker.
Yes, sir. It were an awful fright.
Yes, too close for comfort. So this time, I'm going to give you the keys, and then I'll leave and you can lock up at your leisure.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes, well, should be a bit safer.
I'll just pop for a quick Jimmy Riddle first.
Good idea.
Oh, no.
You see, all it takes is a bit of thought and a little communication and no problem is unsolvable. Right, let's check the answer machine.
Have you drunk too much petrol? Do you find yourself far too full of petrol, being slowly poisoned to death, experiencing brain damage, and at severe risk of explosion? Then why not try drinking more petrol? Petrol!
I really need to change this number. Bad Mateless.
Gee, Mr. Freefall, this is some good champagne.
Well, Chief, now that you're on Lance Freefall's team, it's nothing but the best from here on out.
I'll drink to that. What the?
No, it can't be.
You said you'd take care of her. She should be dead by now.
Good evening.
Ah, Bad Mateless. Drink?
No.
Suit yourself. Of course, you know the Chief.
It's not what it looks like, Mateless. Freefall tricked me.
You were his agent for those months.
No, it's not true.
Oh, Chief, what's the point pretending? Yes, Bad Mateless. The Chief was resistant to my little war on the news at first, but once he saw the benefits the corpo world had to offer, he became a lot more cooperative.
Shut up, Freefall, you bastard.
Did that tell you anything about your man that you didn't previously know?
Not really. You news people are all the same. bulletproof ethics, unshakable dedication to the purity of journalism, until you wave a six-figure salary in front of you, and then, before you know it, you're anybody's girl.
The tides turn.
Really? What about you, Bad Mateless? Did you yourself not leave the duty of public broadcasting for the money and sensationalism of a private media company?
I did what?
It's true. She did. You did the same, Mateless. You're no better than me.
You're wrong.
Oh, really? How can you justify this, Bad Mateless? To go private when you claim to be such a staunch defender of the public interest?
Because it's democratic.
Yeah, right.
Please spare me your excuses. This is really tragic. You know how many people there are in the world, Bad Mateless?
Approximately 126 million people.
It's actually over 8 billion, but no matter. You see these people as individuals, people with freedoms, with thoughts, with a right to be informed.
What's going through your head?
Me? I see them as cattle. To buy and sell and be sold to. Drones who carry out their little tasks, going about their little lives, not even aware that their ultimate goal is to create profit for me. And drones do not need to be informed.
Presumably, it is a nationwide or an international problem.
The whole world, Bad Mateless. Freefall's world.
Just get out of here, Mateless. You had your chance to sign up to the winning team, and you screwed it up. You should have been smarter, like me and all the other news editors.
No, you're wrong.
It's true. John Riley from Sky News, Michael Jeremy, Director of News and Current Affairs for ITV, even Esme Wren from Channel 4. They're all working for Freefall now.
They've known this man for years and they knew how he operated.
And they also knew their time was over. The news is dead, Mateless. What's the point? I just don't understand what you're still fighting for.
You make a fair point. I can't ask you to step into other people's shoes.
No, Chief!
Oh, is it frustrating?
Now you've done it.
Took a bit of a leap of faith.
Wait. Even if you take me down, do you really think you can bring back the news? You think you can reverse the forces of the corpo world all by yourself?
I think I just asked the questions.
Bad Mateless. Emily Mateless will return in Bad Mateless 2. Worse Mateless.
The auto cue says eat lead, bitch.
Brilliant. You know, I wouldn't have said this before, but more people should solve their problems with violence. It looks fun. Anyway, I hope that all of this episode's thrills, chills, and most of all spills have topped up your tank and left you revved up and ready to face whatever's directly ahead of you. It could be performing some cardiac surgery, running up an order of a dozen bridesmaids' dresses, or maybe it's just the open road itself, stretching off out past the horizon, your only company the warm sun, the wind in your hair, and an assortment of small to medium-sized animals for you to swerve into if you get bored. Happy trails, partner. But on the road, you need some tunes and some smart clothes to wear, so why not consider going to crowleytime.com and buying some high-quality official Crowley Time merchandise? You could buy a copy of Discount Bin, the show's soundtrack album, load it up onto your phone and get it onto your stereo system. Then, when you pull up at a traffic light next to a sexually attractive person and they turn their head to check out the goods, drawn in by the music, you just tilt your torso slightly in their direction so they can see your Crowley Time Sumptuoso sweatshirt or Maximum Elite's t-shirt. After that, all you need to do is watch as their kek spontaneously combust, and the rest is history. That's crowleytime.com for all your merchandise needs. Or alternatively, you can go to patreon.com/crowleytime and become a supporter of this show for a mere $2 per episode, or local equivalent, and gain access to this episode's supporter-exclusive bonus material, which this time is the uncensored version of Mr. Christmas's colourful ad read earlier, as well as a few extra outtakes, and all the bonuses ever released in the past. Or, if you're feeling the pinch of whatever corrupt cabal of amoral right-wing idiots runs your country and you can't spare any money, then please do consider advising a trusted friend to listen to the show. And if you've tried that already, try telling them again. But this time add, no, really, I think this is the right thing to do. They'll thank you for it. Maybe not right away, but eventually. The next episode will be released when Geri Halliwell first genuinely forgets for a moment that she was in the Spice Girls. Which will probably be in a couple of months, actually. I'm taking a few weeks off. So make sure to subscribe, so you'll be alerted at the precise moment that happens. Everything you've just heard was made by me, Tom Crowley. Please submit all praise, questions or complaints to @atomcrowley on Twitter or email crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. To support my new anti-petrol drinking public awareness campaign, go to patreon.com/crowleytime and become a supporter today. Or go to crowleytime.com and buy some of this show's merchandise. And remember, there sometimes is a point in crying over spilt milk. The variables to consider are the volume of milk, where it was spilt, and whether you have lost any treasured possessions or people in the milk deluge. Use these data points to draw up a personal milk matrix to decide for yourself whether there is any point crying or not.
Mr. Christensen?
Not now, Jenny. I'm much distressed.
But a letter has come for you, sir.
I'm not in the mood for correspondence.
But, pardon me, sir, but this letter carries the seal of Mr. Musgrove's household.
Musgrove, give it here. Dear Mr. Christensen, I have reflected much on our heated exchange in the lanes the other day. While your words were hurtful, I must counterweight that offence with the bluntness of my own comportment and stand opposed to the sinful pride that can so wound a friendship such as ours. And so I have come to the conclusion that you, sir, are a thrusting mud farmer, and a swaggering bollock elf, and a tod-guzzling pustule. Why, this is marvellous. Jenny!
Sir?
Fetch me my parchment and my inkwell. Truly this is to be a very merry St. Mechtilde's Day.